From Unique Toys, it is the Y-02 Data Courier Buzzing, or as we like to call him, Blurr. Yes, the role that was spoken very quickly by John Machida. This is a third-party version of Blurr by Unique Toys called Buzzing, and he's a data courier. Unless that's his name, Data Courier Buzzing. That's kind of like a first name Data, no relation to the guy on Star Trek. My last name's Buzzing, and my middle name's Courier. Courier is my middle name. So this is a very cool looking toy, and I do want to thank the Tommy Park store for sending this to me at no cost so I could review it for you guys. And I will put, of course, a link to them in the description. But I am going to go through this with a fine-tooth comb, and if it's good, I will tell you it's good, in my opinion. If it's bad, I will tell you it's bad, again, in my opinion. 100% totally honest reviews. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, by the way, I am Captain Kyle. Welcome aboard. If you've been watching for a while, thanks so much for coming back. That is totally awesome. And before I go too much further, we also now have channel memberships where you get to watch members only live streams once a month, and you get special badges and other stuff. And I review stuff in the members only live streams. So if you want to support the channel, check it out. You can become a toy hunter. But let's get into Data Courier Buzzing here. But first, a quick intro. Be right back. All right, so it's a pretty cool looking box. It shows the data courier moving so fast that he's leaving a trail of himself behind. It shows a picture of him in vehicle mode on each side. On the top, it shows, a little bit more of him in robot mode. On the bottom, it has a warning that says choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years. And then it has another warning about choking hazard. Be careful when handling may cause injury. Avoid storing this product in hot, humid places with extreme temperatures or in direct sunlight. Misuse of this product can result in an injury. Of course, very cool. Front and the back shows him in his various modes and with his various stuff. So apparently he has his Targetmaster along with a regular gun, and he might have something else. It looks like there's a ball over here. We'll figure out what that is. But whip out my knife, slice it open, and let's pull it out. Shut up, Logan. So this guy is kind of almost like a masterpiece size version of Blurr, which is very cool. And I just figured out that this thing here is the transformation cog in 5 Faces of Darkness that he ran around with. He also has an alternative face in here, which, there's instructions, there's a card, and you can see in the packaging he's got a couple guns. Now, I'm probably not going to change his face, but he's got this card, and I'm going to pull out the instructions. The face is kind of like his mouth is partially open. This, he's looking a little bit more closed-mouthed, which is unlike Blurr because he talks a lot. But let's take a look at this guy. So the 2 guns, one is a Targetmaster and one is a regular gun. So taking him out, put him on the turntable of doom. Now I just want to check to see, sometimes these guys have heels that I don't flip out, but I'm not going to flip out because there are no heels to flip out. But he looks pretty cool. He's got this regular gun, which apparently it can come apart, which is kind of cool, I guess. I imagine it has some purpose other than, making me go, interesting. Maybe it's for storage. He's got his Targetmaster partner. To be honest, I don't remember what the partner's name was. And the transformation cog, which Unicron might pay a lot for this. Might even give you a brand new body. Starscream. But all right, let's put this away. When it has a nice box that you can put things back in, I like to keep those boxes. A lot of the Hasbro stuff that, you rip open the box and you can't really put it back in very nicely. I don't bother. But just taking a look at this to see if there's anything that I need to know about. Now, because he has a regular gun and a Targetmaster, you can give him both. So he's got regular gun right there. Now, the Targetmaster, before we get into the main figure, I just want to go over him real quick. And we're going to zoom in because he is quite small, like really small. Like, there he is. But it looks like he's got a pretty good transformation compared to other Targetmasters. You bring the arms out and down. He actually has elbows, which is cool. A little stiff, I will say. This part of the gun looks like you flip that around. I could be looking at the instructions, but where's the fun in that? Just make sure I don't break things. But yeah, a very cool, was it Haywire? I don't even remember who his Targetmaster partner was. In Japan, they never got the Targetmaster versions of Hot Rod Cup and Blurr or Cyclonus and Scourge, though they did use those Targetmasters for other figures, Fire and Stepper. But with the reissues, I believe they got the Targetmasters at that point. But yeah, a cool little Targetmaster. with a pretty cool transformation, though he can fall over. And posability, full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Kicks forward, kicks back. Side kick, he can do a side crescent kick, but he can't do a side kick because of the way that's set up. But bends at the knee very nicely. Twists at the waist, all the way around. Arms go all the way around. Bends at the elbow. No swivel. But, you know, he's this small, so... As in, he's like 2 inches tall, so I'm not going to complain about no swivel. The head doesn't turn. But again, for the size and for the complexity of the transformation, I mean, he is pretty dang cool. Very cool gun that transforms. The cog, not going to say much about that. It does have a blue part right here. The other side does not appear. And it looks like through the edges, it's blue, so maybe just give this to one of the guys from Transformers 1, because, you know, fucking Sentinel. But all right, let's bring our main guy out here, Data Courier Buzzing. And I'm gonna take away his gun, because I don't wanna get shot. Oh, and apparently you can merge the guns together, which I think is really cool, which turns it into a huge rifle. That is sweet. Things we didn't ask for, and they give us anyway. So let's take a look at this guy. Now, first of all, he looks like Blurr. He looks a lot like, you know, the movie version of Blurr, the season 3 and 4 version of Blurr. He looks more spot on than some of the versions of Blurr that Hasbro has released. And great deco on the face. Again, it just really looks like the character. Now he's got this on the back, which I don't recognize, but I'm sure it'll come in handy. But lots of detail, nice silver paint. Feels like there's some die cast in there. It just feels a little heavier, but a lot of it is plastic, but the plastic feels quality. Doesn't feel like it's gonna fall apart. But all right, let's go through some posability with this guy, because I know you wanna see his vehicle mode. And so ankle swivels. He does have somewhat of ankle swivels. Not a huge amount, just a little bit, but you can also stand him straight up. Full Jean-Claude Van Damme, toes up, not a problem, absolutely. In fact, I think he can actually do more than 180 degrees. Now, kicking forward, he doesn't go that far, because this plate in the front here, now, I don't know, yeah, it doesn't look like it pops out easily, so kicking back is really good. Kicking to the side, I mean, he can do more than a split, but kicking forward is an issue. Bends at the knee very nicely. He's got a swivel. Twisting at the waist, all the way around. Very smooth, very smooth. Arms go all the way around, bends at the elbow. Now he's got that piece, which makes sense. If you're trying to swivel it around, you just got to be aware of that. The fingers are somewhat articulated. There's the 3 and the 1. The thumb does not appear to move, but the lower 3 and the forefinger do on both hands. So he can, again, be shooting and being like, say hello to my little friends. His head turns all the way around. He can kind of look up a bit, look down. He can nod, be like, yes, sir. Doctor, 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 doctor. So posability is there. His arms can also go out to the side, by the way. Kind of shows off his weird armpits, but you know, that's all right. So a very posable version of Blurr. I don't think we ever got a masterpiece version of Blurr, but this would be it. Couple spins, and yeah, let's get into the vehicle mode. I'm just trying to see if there's anything in regards to any of the accessories that you should know about, but nope, not seeing anything. All right, transform. There he is in his vehicle mode. Looks very similar to his vehicle mode in the movie and in the cartoon. And a few things I like. I mean, as usual, I had some trouble with the instructions, and the feet were a little complex until I figured out what they were trying to do. But I love the fact that this plate here in the front, this folds out. This is not a shield like the original one where he's holding a shield. You know, there's no additional nose piece that you need to detach. This is actually fully integrated, which is very cool. Now he does have this little driver's seat. You could probably put his Targetmaster partner in there if you really wanted to. Now I'm curious. Kind of. I don't think he's meant to be in there, but he could ride along. There doesn't seem to be any weapon storage, but that's all right. Can't have everything. And yeah, it's a complex transformation, but once you figure out what the instructions are trying to tell you, it's actually pretty cool. Now, there's no wheels on the bus. The wheels on the bus do not go round and round. So it's a slide test, but still a very cool version of Blurr. Definitely like him. And in vehicle mode, he's about 8.5 inches tall. And of course, I did not measure him in robot mode, which basically means I should probably transform him back. Now, once you transform him once, generally it's much easier to to transform him again. So in robot mode, he is 8.5 inches tall, which I think is plenty big enough for having some kind of masterpiece on your hands. So there you have it, Data Courier Buzzing, who's just a very cool toy from Unique Toys. And again, a link in the description so you can get this toy. And again, thanks to Tommy Park for providing this very cool toy for me so I can share it with you. And if you're enjoying this content, by all means, feel free to subscribe. That'd be totally awesome. Don't forget about our memberships. And while you're debating about this very tall version of Blurr, actually check out this video over here, which is a very small version of Hot Rod, but very cool. And we will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.